Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm talking about breaking down your goals. We've all got sales targets, we've all got goals for our business, but if they're these massive, big, what they call BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals, they're very hard to visualize. And if you don't have a plan to get there, really all you've got is a dream with a date attached. Goals are great. We all have goals, whether they're written or not. Even you, owning your own shop, it was once a goal. You were working for someone else, you were fixing cars for someone else, and you're like, one day I want to have my own business. That was a goal. I don't know whether you had it written, but you achieved it. And congratulations, like more power to you. I think it's awesome. We need more people owning their own shops. Now that you've got your own workshop, you've ticked off the first goal on your list, but now you might be saying, okay, I want to grow my business. The term scale gets thrown around. Now I need to scale my business. Forget the word scale. You need to grow your business. You might be doing $500,000, you might be doing $700,000 a year, and you want to try and get to the next sort of financial goal for you. But if you're just writing it on a whiteboard or writing it in your diary once a year at the end of financial year saying, next year I want to do $1 million, unless you break it down into dailies, it just ends up this like long goal in the future. Like, I really need to lose weight, but I haven't really committed to it because unfortunately, I think the only thing better than one cold beer is 20 cold beers. I need to drink less beer. I need to eat less food. That's what it comes down to, and exercise more. I haven't set a goal. I haven't said to myself, you need to lose weight by a certain date, and I need to. So this is not a weight loss video. What I'm talking about is when I say I need to lose, say, 20 pounds, what I should be saying, and what's more manageable, is I need to lose 1 pound a week for the next 10 weeks or 20 weeks, whatever it is. That's manageable. And breaking down goals like that is what this video is about. Now, this video is completely inspired by a conversation I had with a workshop owner. And I asked him, what are your sales goals? It was only a small shop, and he said, I want to do $1 million a year. I said, that's fantastic. Look, great goal to have. He was currently doing a lot less than that, and I can't even give you an exact figure because he didn't know. I said, so what are you currently turning over? And he goes, oh, I don't know. I said, well, how many cars do you do a day? He's like, I don't know. I said, well, what's your average sale? He goes, oh, probably around about $400, $500. Had no idea. I said, okay, well, if you want to do $1 million a day, let's break it down. What is that? Sorry, $1 million a day. Wouldn't that be good? $1 million a year. What is that per day? And he looked at me like I was mad. Like, he's like, I don't know. I said, well, there's 250 working days in a year, average workshops. Like, we don't work weekends. So if you take the weekends out and you take a couple of holidays out and public holidays, there's about 250 working days in a year. That means if you want to sell $1 million in a year, that's only $4,000 a day. That is easily achievable, especially out of a 2-bay workshop. When you break it down like that, each day you've got a target to aim for. Instead of just like this, oh, one day in the future I want to have, you can say today we open at 8 and by 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock this afternoon, we have to have sold and repaired $4,000 worth of, or we need to have sold and carried out $4,000 worth of repairs. That's like a manageable goal. And to take it one step further, then you can look at it and say, okay, well, where are we currently at? And if you're at $3,000 a day, you can say, okay, well, we need to pull an extra $1,000 out. And that's where knowing your numbers and knowing your maths comes into it. If you can look at your books and say, the average repair in my workshop, the average ARO is $500. I'm only using that figure because it's easy for maths. If you're doing $3,000 a day and your ARO's $500, you're doing 6 cars a day. So you know that if you need to go to 4,000 a day to reach that $1 million, you need 2 extra cars a day. It's simple maths. If you're booking 6 cars, but it's taking you all day to get through them to get to that $3,000 sales mark, that's an efficiency issue. You need to be charging more per day. You need to be actually selling more hours per day. But on the other side, if you're getting through the work and it's say 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you need to book 2 more cars a day. So that's a booking issue. If you don't have the cars, if you're struggling to get to 6 cars a day with your bookings, well, that's a marketing issue. You need to then go out and chase more cars. You need to chase your existing customers to try and recommend you and get more cars in every day. When you set a massive goal and you don't set the plan in place, it remains just this pie in the sky figure that you're aiming for. But when you have a plan in place and you can literally look at it every day, every hour of every day and say, this is what we need to do, you know whether you're on track or not. And I believe that is the biggest reason why so many guys don't actually reach their sales targets or reach their goals, is because they don't break them down into like bite-sized chunks. Like the saying, how do you eat a horse? Well, one bite at a time. You need to start small. You need to look at it and say, okay, what is the step I can take right now to take me, instead of saying I need to get $1 million, what's the step I need right now to get $4,000 a day. If we're open 10 hours a day, what do we need to sell to get $400 an hour out of our workshop? Now comes the fun part. Wherever your workshop's at, whatever your sales are at the moment, and you know you've got a figure in mind. We all have a figure in mind that we want to get to. I hate saying the next level. I don't believe in levels. I believe we're at 800,000, we want to get to 1 million, or at 1 million, we want to get to 1.2. This is the simplest thing you can do. Take your annual sales goal, divide it by 250. Now you have your daily target. And to go one step further, you can look at it and say, okay, if we're open 10 hours a day, we need to do $400 an hour. Having an hourly goal is something you can achieve because you can look at it every hour of every day and say, are we on track? Are we above or are we below the line? And you can make adjustments to get to that sales goals. Once you've broken it down by hour, it's a simple thing to chase. You're either inefficient, which we can address on other videos, or you're not booking enough cars, or you're running out of cars. If you're running out of cars, that's a marketing issue. And that's another video which I'll be bringing out real soon, so make sure you're watching it. Again, I always try and keep these videos short because you've got cars to fix, I've got workshops to transform. We both need to get back to work. But before you head off, if you could just do me one huge favor and hit the thumb because you've got two and I've got one. I'll see you on the next one. This is Autoboss here.